Hello, welcome back. It's great to see you again. In this video, we're going to turn this mini album insert into a Memorydex mini album. So to do that, I have made an SVG cut file. I will leave a link to that in the description. That's free for you to use. If you don't have a Cricut or an electronic machine that can cut that, you could definitely replicate this just with a scoreboard, and I will leave all of the dimensions in the description box as well. The only thing that you would probably need to have is one of the Memorydex punches. If you don't have one of these, a good tip is to cut just 2 circles with a hole punch and then a slit up to each. So you could definitely make this without the cutting machine. But in the SVG file, you will find one of these pieces, which will need to be a double-sided cardstock. These 3, which will be your outside like cover pieces. Don't mind that they're a little bit folded. I've been using a new Cricut mat, and if any of you guys have used one of those, you know that the stickiness to begin with is just ridiculous. So they're a bit curled up, but it'll be fine with sticking them down. Then 2 Memorydex bottom pieces. These again are to go on the cover. And then these 2, which could be chipboard if you want them to be, but I use the recycled card from Hobbycraft and it works just as well. So let's assemble the outside first. The plan is for this to sit nicely in this little holder. It will close around it, and then this can go in your Memorydex holder or spinner or whatever it is that you've got. If you would like to see a tutorial not using the cut file with me actually cutting it all by hand, let me know. I'd be happy to film one of those for you. This video will also be linked in the description, how to make the little insert. This could be a mini album all on its own, so that's why I've split it into 2 videos. If you were just making it without the Memorydex, you could literally just cut these Memorydex bits off and it would make a really cute little folded mini album. First thing you want to do when you've cut all of your pieces is to get this piece and fold on these 2 score lines so it makes a little book like this. Mind that to the side, we'll be adding everything to that later on. First off, you want to work on these 2 chipboard pieces. So choose which you want to be the front and which you want to be the back. I think I'm going to have the one with the 3 colours on the front, or maybe not. Doesn't matter hugely, we're just sticking them down at the moment. So I'm going to stitch these, therefore I'm adding a small amount of adhesive, but if you weren't going to stitch them, make sure you stick them down very well. These ones are going to be on the front of the album, so they're going to be touched and moved around a lot, so make sure that they're well stuck down. You literally just want to stick these bits at the top of this. Then you want to do the exact same thing with this bottom piece down here. If you are stitching, try not to add adhesive underneath where you're going to stitch, because it really does mess with the sewing machine, unless it's like wet adhesive or something like that, but double-sided tape does seem to get stuck in the machine and it won't stitch as well. They shouldn't overlap very much, if at all, so they should fit perfectly just next to each other like this. I'm going to stitch these on and then I will come back and show you how it looks. This is exactly the same as before, so sticking it at the top, sticking that at the bottom, and then I'm going to stitch them both. So I will come back to you shortly. These are the pieces all stitched. So I've just added a zigzag line across here and then stitched all around the edge. You don't have to do that, you could stick it down with glue. If your machine does really fancy stitches, you could do that. Anything you want is purely decorative. Well, I mean, for me it holds it onto the background because it was curved, but you could use other adhesives for that. Then you just need to attach all of these pieces to your base. So you want to turn it so the outside is facing you. This part is to go on the spine. You could reinforce this if you want. I didn't really see any point in doing so, so I haven't, but you could if you want. So I think I will have that as the front, and I will have that one as the back. Oh, I don't know. No, I think I want it the other way around. There we go, like that. And it's literally as simple as gluing these bits on. I'm going to do the spine first. If you want to add an eyelet or a charm or stitching or anything, you could do that to this piece The stitching I would probably add onto here before you glue it down, but the eyelet you can add once this piece is glued and in place. I'm going to use a combination of double-sided tape and glue for the front and back pieces, just to give it something a bit extra to hold on to. Make sure that your Memorydex bits at the bottom line up. That's what matters the most. And the rest of it will just sort of fall into place. You can use clips if you want to hold this bit while it's drying, but I think I'm just going to hold it for a second. Then the same with the back one. Once you've got the pieces cut, this is a very quick assembly. The longest thing will probably be decorating all of the pages inside the book. Then the last step, so you've got your outside cover here ready to go into your Memorydex holder, is just to add your little book insert on the inside. So I personally would just glue the back piece, but if you wanted to stick it to the spine, you totally could. It's entirely up to you. I think it's easier to just stick it to the back piece, and then this can expand as it needs to. So I'm going to add that in here. The other thing you could do for this is cut little squares of the patterned paper and add them onto each page. That would look super cute. You can decorate this however you want. And then we are all finished. So this will be your little Memorydex mini album. Then when you open it up, you could definitely add something on the inside here if you wanted to. I'm planning to add an eyelet and a charm on the spine. And then you've got all of your little pages. Some of them have the pockets, so side pockets, top pockets. You can decorate all of these. There are so many things you could do with this album. You could document a holiday. You could use it as happy mail to send to a friend. It is entirely up to you what you do with this. But I thought it was a cute way to do something a little bit different with a mini album and a Memorydex combined. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial, and please do tag me if you give this a go. I would love to see your creations, and I will see you again soon. Bye!